Welcome back to the channel. We're out here on Staten Island, right by the Staten Island airfield. The weather just finally got nice enough to fly, and today I set myself a challenge. I wanted to see if there was a noticeable difference in the flight performance between flying a drone with the GoPro Hero 10 on board, which is about 100 grams heavier than the DJI Action. So I have two drones, nearly identical. The only difference between these two drones is one has a Caddx Vista, the other has a DJI Air unit, the full Air unit. Both are running the Nebula Pro cameras though. The other difference is one has the DJI Action 2 mount, the other has the mount for the GoPro Hero 10 Black. Other than that, nearly identical. The weight of the two quads as they sit is 10 grams different, which for a 5-inch drone isn't a big deal. The batteries in question, I'm going to be using two very similar batteries, two brand new race day quads 1050-6Ss. They weigh nearly identically at 200 grams. And then also a pair of a little older Tattoo R-lines, also 1050-6Ss, and they also weigh, I believe like 178 grams. The others just about 179 grams, but they're very, very similar. So I'm gonna basically put a battery on each drone, fly them, put the other battery on each drone, fly them both, same remote, same goggles, same day, same settings. Now, one other thing to note with this test is both of the cameras are going to be set to their respective highest resolutions, 5.3K for the GoPro, 4K for the DJI Action, 60 frames per second for both, 16:9 for the aspect ratio, and then I'm going to turn Hyper Smooth on the GoPro and Rocksteady on the DJI Action. Because in addition to seeing if the weight is any difference or makes a difference, in another video I'm actually going to take a look at whether or not the video difference was there too. Is there an image quality difference between the 5.3K on the GoPro and on the DJI Action? So that way there's almost like a cost benefit analysis of, hey look, the DJI Action gets you very good video and is worth the weight savings, or maybe it's not. That's kind of part of this video too. This is gonna be the first flight. We're gonna go out with the DJI Action first on the first drone, and then we're gonna come back, fly out with the GoPro Hero 10, swap to the different set of batteries from Tattoo, try that, see how we do, and we'll go from there. And out we go. So just so you're aware, this is the first pack of the day. So this is gonna be kind of a little bit of a warm up, but so far we're flying good. I'm gonna try to fly similar loops. Down to that tree. We're gonna do a little cinematic flying first. I don't think there's gonna be much of a difference in kind of the cinematic flying between these two drones, these two different action cameras. Just because for cinematic flying, these drones are very powerful compared to kind of what they need to do. And then we're gonna do a little flippy floppy freestyle flight once we're done with that. So let's cruise around. And I'm also going to try to compare the flight time, because I think that might also be a difference. Obviously I'm not good enough to fly like perfectly the same with all of these drones, so like a little bit of variation is to be expected. And just even from the battery themselves, like not every cell is going to be different. or sorry, not every cell is going to be the same. We're now down to, woo. So I ideally want to come back before 21.5, but I got distracted there. Yeah. So that first flight with the DJI Action was down to 21.5 volts and it was 4 minutes 27 seconds, so decent performance. Did a little cinematic flying, did a little more aggressive freestyle, nothing too crazy. I was just kind of getting a good kind of test sample flight. I'm going to switch over to the DJI drone with the GoPro now, so let me switch over and we'll get right into it. Got the GoPro Hero 10 version of the drone plugged in, ready to rock and ruin. So do the same out and back, then a little cinematic swoop in. Oh wow, just on that first split S, this drone feels way heavier, like significantly heavier. I did not expect that. I expected it to be noticeable in some of the more freestyle-y maneuvers. But just in that first split S, it felt so much different weight-wise. I'm having to reach so much deeper into the throttle to get this up and around. This is leading to a little bit more speed and momentum tricks. I am blown away. I mean, I guess I shouldn't be blown away because I added almost 100 grams just to add the camera itself. Yes, this quad that this is on is already 10 grams heavier. So maybe it'll make a little difference if I swapped it to the other quad. Even just like the front heaviness of this quad, it does feel more stable in the wind though. I'm not going to discount that this doesn't feel like, it still feels good. I just don't feel as kind of like impunitively confident. That flight was 4 minutes, 51 seconds. Flight number 2 with the GoPro. I am doing this one back to back with the other GoPro flight, mostly because I want to kind of get the most stick time possible for that next DJI flight. Because the first flight I did not have any warm-up time. And I don't think that's completely fair. But hey, I can't do anything different. Like there's a little more bounce back with this extra weight, and I don't think it's the tune. I think it's just the rotational weight of the GoPro is that much heavier. Okay, we're at 3.9, 3.8, 3.7. We're at 4 minutes 30. 4 minutes 50 seconds, 21.9 volts. Flight number 2, DJI Action 2. Throttle down. Here we go. Inauspicious start. Okay. Now jumping back into the DJI Action 2, the first thing I notice is how much more lively and how sharp this feels. It almost feels a little twitchy. Not in a bad way necessarily, it just feels more light and nimble. If you're a car person, the effect of what I did feels like jumping from like, I don't know, like a large sporty SUV, say like a BMW X3M, into something that's a little bit more light and focused in sports car like an M3. And so it is a dramatic difference. Yes, they are both fast. Yes, both perform exceedingly well. Like both do fly surprisingly well. I'm surprised that there wasn't like night and day, but just on these snap overrolls and the kind of quick turns through this area, it all feels so much better and sharper. The one thing that I will say that I like about the GoPro Hero 10 on board is for pitch tricks where you need a little bit more momentum. The GoPro Hero 10 does add that momentum back to the quad. It does make it pitch a little further. So it's a little easier for like chucking it long distance. To that same effect though, it does mean that when you throw it, you do need to put that much more throttle back into it to catch it. And so I don't know that it's completely better. It's just different. And I know I've been flying this pack way more aggressively than the previous. So I fully expect myself to empty this one far quicker. Which that may be part of it too. I may not actually end up getting more flight time. It may be a case of I'm able to fly so much more nimbly and aggressively that I chew through battery more than with the heavier quad. 4 minutes, 10 seconds, recovered to 22 volts. Lowest I saw was 21.5. Now that we finished all the flights, let me tell you that it is night and day different. I mean, I should have guessed when you add 100 grams to a 700 gram quad, it's going to change how it flies quite a bit. But I was surprised that I noticed right out of the gate. As soon as I went over and did that first split S maneuver, just the amount more momentum it carried, the almost lack of power it felt like when I came out of the dive. I had to use a lot more throttle than I'm used to. And so it was night and day. And for clarity's sake, I do fly the DJI Action for the most part. The Hero 10 only really goes on quads when I'm trying to get cinematic video. So in the next video, I am gonna look at the video from both flights and kind of go side to side, head to head, see which stabilization works best on the quad, which video looked better. Is it worth that weight? I highly suspect not. If it is worth the weight for the GoPro Hero 10, there's a good chance I'm gonna start flying that Hero 10 bones on the freestyle quad, because just how light and sharp and almost, it just felt more precise, and that's the biggest thing for it. And I definitely think, having flown those two quads back to back, if you're flying 5-inch, even 5.1 inch, because both of those had a new set of 5.1 inch peanut butter and jelly props from Ethics, go with the lighter camera. And so if you're looking for a freestyle camera for a freestyle 5-inch drone, that DJI Action is the game changer. If you really want to stick with GoPro, look at that Hero 10 Bones. If you want to go completely off the deep end and go super light, maybe the Insta360 Go, or just using the DJI camera on board. But overall, big fan of that lighter weight. So that 700 to 750 gram freestyle drone, I think is the sweet spot. So if you're flying freestyle drones, see how much your drone weighs. Let me know in the comments. Do you like flying a heavier drone? Have you flown a lighter drone? I want to know your opinion, because this is just how I feel. This is how this test went. But for me, 750 grams seems to be that hard limit for a good, sharp, great flying freestyle drone. Thank you all for joining me today. I do leave links down in the description below for the gear that I use if you want to pick it up. Most of them are affiliate links, some aren't. If they are affiliate links, it does give a kickback to me, helping me grow this channel. Anything that I make off of that will go to growing this channel. Finally, like every other YouTuber in the world, please subscribe to the channel. It helps me grow. Like the video, leave a comment. All of that is great. I will be down in the comments interacting, liking, and chatting with you. Again, thank you all for joining me. I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.